Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab of California, and we're going to do another breakdown here for you today on Will Grier, the quarterback from West Virginia. Really excited about this just because, I used to, when I was younger, have a much bigger overall following for West Virginia. Was a bit of a fan back in like the early days of West Virginia when they had like Pat White and those guys. Anyway, we'll get into Will Grier. I think he's been doing a great job this year and want to be able to see more about how he throws and hopefully give you guys a little bit more information as well. So we'll go ahead and hop right into it. Will Grier, so we can see one of the things that is interesting. I mean, looking at him, he is 6'2", but he doesn't look like he's a super big guy. He's a little bit almost undersized in kind of how he plays. He's very low to the ground. He bends his knees a lot. He really tries to stand in a very athletic position, which makes it so he ends up playing a little bit shorter, but he still is able to make it work. And one of the big things that he does, and this is something that I've started to notice a little bit more, is that everybody seems to do something different to create a little bit longer of a lever arm in order to generate force. And if we go into physics, really being able to create that longer lever is going to be able to help you in creating more power as well. And so what he does, if we watch, he goes and he loads up on that back leg and he starts to get that lower body to shift there. And then even as he's shifting that lower body, he's almost beginning like a forward rotation in his arm, where he starts bringing the arm forward, which really makes it so he gets what's called a lot of scapular retraction. What your scapular is like the shoulder blade, and what retraction is like bringing your shoulder blade in towards your spine. So if you're sitting down, you think about bringing your shoulder blade, making the movement to bring your shoulder blade in towards your spine. That's essentially what he's doing as he's loading in there. And then from there, that helps him in really creating a long lever arm in terms of where that ball is coming from and to where it's going to end up being released from. So he's going through and throwing the ball, but when you watch him go, it doesn't really elongate the overall motion. It doesn't make it so it takes a long time getting the ball out of his hands. It's fairly quick, but he's able to be very effective in how he's creating overall efficiency. And this is another similar type of throw. Right, see how he loads onto that back leg, really initiates with that lower body, gets everything moving forward, right? You can see how everything's starting to move forward, really lower body wise, and even a little bit through the core starts to begin that rotation. And then from there, he has that, his scapula is going back this way. So everything else, his hips are going forward and around, right? So I guess this would be the motion of the hips would be forward and around. The spine is going that way. Shoulders going that way, and that helps in really creating a large amount of separation between where some of his power is there and then where the ball is there. And then he does a really good job of timing that out, where then he gets a large amount of pullback with that front arm, and then from there he also gets a large amount of overall force being generated there with his back arm. So right, you can see how he keeps that front arm closed, and we see a lot of guys end up opening that arm a little bit early, but he does a good job of, as he's shifting forward, keeping that arm closed until he really starts to propel that back arm forward. And then you can see that he pulls that back shoulder, or that front shoulder back, and really lets that thing rip. We'll go through and check that one out again. Boom. It's a nice throw. We'll go a couple more here. Okay, you can see, again, how he, as he starts, he really plays pretty low there as he loads. But I like this movement here, and I'll try to zoom in a little bit more. So hopefully you can see it. I know it gets a little bit more grainy, but notice how when he's loading, how he pulls that front arm back, and as he's pulling that front arm back, he's also initiating that step and beginning the process of turning in those hips. So you can see he pushes off that back leg, getting those hips to start going, get the momentum to start going. And then from there, that's what, now his hips are opening up. He continues the hip rotation throughout the throw. So continual hip rotation, then that front arm's coming through. And then as that front arm starts to pull back, that's when you can see a good lead with that elbow. Boom, and then coming through and completely finishing the throw. Notice how as he finishes, he's all the way around. There's no part of him that ever stops. He's continuing that motion all the way through the throw, or I see a lot of guys end up stopping their overall momentum as they get going. Another good example here. Notice how his weight's all shifting forward, but he's keeping like his upper body back. So he has really like his lower body shifting forward, this part of his body shifting forward, but you can see that while those parts of his body are this way, right? If I was going to draw a line, right, you can see here, you know, he has a good amount of his weight shifted forward. Even here, he's got a good amount of his weight shifted forward. But then here, he's got more of his weight shifted backward. So like this cutoff line right here, I'll try to just make one line here. So that cutoff line is really where he's, you know, on this part of it, on the upper part of it, he has more of his weight back this way, where on this part of it, down, he has more of his weight that way. Okay, now that the line's gone, you can see how like there's a little bit of a lean in his body, making it so more of his weight's going that way. So now he uses that load to then, with his front arm, again, pull that front shoulder back and really create a lot of momentum and a lot of force during the throw. And one more thing that I just want to show is also the ability to, and this isn't under, you know, at the end of the day, mechanics is great. Understanding how to throw the ball better is great. You're going to have to be able to create a lot of force and have a lot of efficiency and do the right things in your mechanics in order to have success as a quarterback. And, you know, that's going to be great for 7-on-7. That's going to be great for, you know, going to these different quarterback camps. But what makes it so you become a Division I quarterback and what makes it so the cream rises to the top is being able to make these types of throws, right? Where you could see guy coming right at him. He's got to adjust his mechanics a little bit, has to take a step out to the side, still is able to maintain his composure under pressure. He doesn't end up getting hit, but ends up having to kind of, you know, shorten up his release a little bit and kind of fall off to the side a little bit. Has to get a little bit more of his whole body into it during the throw. So you have to make a few different changes, lean over the side a little bit, take a step over to the side as well. And then as he's finishing, almost fall over to the side a little more than he's used to, but still able to make a perfect throw, right? In terms of that overall positioning. So he has a few things that end up happening in the throw that make it so it's going to be challenging, but even though you have those challenges, still able to keep his composure and make an excellent throw. At the end of the day, that's what's going to make the difference between a good quarterback and a great quarterback. There's a lot of guys that can throw really well with the shorts and t-shirts on, but there's not a lot of guys that can throw very well when you have D linemen and blitzes coming at you and a lot of chaos going on in a small amount of time. But Will Grier has proven that he can make that happen. Excellent competitor, big fan. Well, can't wait to see what he's got in store for him at the next level. All right, as always, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already checked out our throw program, I highly recommend you doing that. Also, we're doing a thing on Instagram right now. If you are interested, go ahead and send in a video of you throwing. If you're a thrower, sprinting, if you're a sprinter, if you want to jump higher, whatever the thing is, we're going to do a quick 60-second breakdown, absolutely free. We want to get more engagement on Instagram. We want to get more people interested in what we're doing. Go ahead and send in your video. We'll be able to break it down 60 seconds for free. Send it to my email, info@yourperformancelab.com. As always, thanks for watching these videos, and we will see you soon. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, you can subscribe down below, and that way you can get updates on any of the new videos that we get. Also, if you want to, you can check out some of our other breakdowns for speed and throwing. We have exercises, also jumping mechanics videos, a lot of great stuff within our channel. Hope you enjoy.